So now we have a 2003 Ford F450 with 6.0. We have to pull the we're gonna pull the turbo and look at the ICP. The ICP, I'm pretty sure, is leaking. Unfortunately, this one being an 03 has a wraparound intake. Absolute nightmare to work on, but we'll get it. So let's go ahead and start pulling it apart. Let's see if we can get this off without breaking it. Okay, we're gonna pull that charge tube off there. Look at that. Someone put that clamp on crazy. So we'll get this clamp off first. Use a gear wrench on this, so I'm gonna put it all funky. It's got like a Chinese VGT actuator on there, that's why. It has a VGT code as well for the variable geometric turbocharger actuator. Someone's already been playing with this and they got the cheapest possible stuff on here. That's the thing with Amazon nowadays. It just makes life a lot more difficult for us. People want to buy all their stuff on Amazon, which is good. I'm okay with it, but you know, use good parts. Set this stuff down here. Grab a rag. I haven't ordered for those yet. I need to actually order today. So we're going to go ahead and pull the alternator off. It's 313. Should be. That one's loose. We'll go on to the land and say the customer replaced that. Just gotta be careful wiring. Thing's all trashed.
This is?
It's all got Chinese parts on it.
Really?
Well, it has a code for the turbocharger actuator, and I'm looking at it now. It's got even no name on it, no nothing.
Oh god.
Yeah, and then it has one for the map correlation. I'll show you. This is gonna be fun. We got some Taiwanese mass airflow, so we got that. That's problem number one. Oh. Problem number two is the air filter's coming apart.
Coming apart?
It's a race truck. What's cracking? You get in it?
Yeah, I should came.
What code did you get?
Evaporated. Small leak.
Okay. Just go ahead and give Ricardo a hand, try checking the brakes and stuff on that, and then bye.
Look at the turbo, look at the wheel.
No. On the turbo, I gotta do like ICP on it.
Oh, really?
The filter's chunking.
Oh, fuck.
You'll never learn.
And the hole's right in the bottom sucking in dirt? Or did you pull that out?
What? Oh, that, I did that. That's the...
Yeah, the minder. So I gotta get the bolts for that turbo.
So we're gonna continue now. Okay, without any more interruptions. It'll be nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the clamp off. Second. Now we need to lift this shield up at these beautiful zip ties. Grab one out of the engine. Okay. Get this crunchy harness. Goodness gracious. Tell someone working with them what they're doing. I'm not taking this apart. I have to own that solenoid. Someone put it back on. They were cutting it to get the head off. Those are what it's supposed to have. Get the downpipe clamp out. Now, pop. Pop those weasel. Loosen the clamp off. Who's up the table? Gotta take the nut off. It tightens too much and stretches it. Now let's get ready.
grab it.
Let's try getting this off. This one's 13. Should not be. It is 13 too. Out. I'm gonna set this up here so no dirt gets in the turbocharger. Okay. Now we're gonna get the 11 on the back for the up pipe. Let's see if I can pop it. This is a little bit. Let me get the other side of the tool first. You got my hammer? No. How long broke it?
I can't tell. We're gonna take the side ones out too. The pins on the side.
Oh.
I got the tool, but I don't know if I have to. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Okay.
I don't think you had to.
That is nothing I know much about. Too old for me then. Show you what I'm doing so you can get a better idea. Okay, you guys can kind of see there's a little crevice right here. The clamps are broken up in 3 parts on the bites. So I just take that and give it a little tap. This clamp's actually in a really weird position, so get that little bend back. My probably was so straight. Once I get that one, it should pop right off. I know. Kind of hitting it the wrong way, but that's all I got. I could do. Oh, there we go. That worked. Usually I like them facing this way. It's a lot easier to pop them off. See, this one will spread. It does. Look at that. And so I went in and stretched this one up to the moon. Okay, now this turbocharger is a little different than, I think the last one I did was early as well. They're a little bit weird to get out, but like this is how I do it. Well, every time, but first you gotta get the downpipe off. Just take it, make sure it's not stuck. Turn it. Just hung up on this clamp. I think it's stuck on the back pin. So be careful with the map sensor holes. Should pop it off because I got to check that too. I have a spare one. Another key. I hope to see. Now, because the definitely. I'm going to plug an ICP in the IPR right now. And you can see. Okay, so now I just started trying to get this ICP out. It's a little tight back here. This is just not a very good design to put this back here. Just gonna move the shield a little bit so I can get it closer. I felt like I was on it, but let's see. Let's bend that shield a little bit. There we go. Okay, you gotta be careful with the brake, that ejector connector right there. Okay, tucky. Let's get this old one out. Dang it. Really nice. I don't see no writing. want to make sure this isn't a Ford one. This is a factory Ford one. I don't think. I don't see any writing on it. Oh, maybe it is. It says made in Mexico. I don't know, maybe it is. It's spraying a leak, so we're gonna have to replace it. Because once they start leaking, they'll pop like oil pressure switch and start spraying all over. Very rare. Yeah. Okay, I got put it in by hand. Now let's get the socket back on. I know it's gonna be hard for you to see, but it's not very fun. I don't like working on these ones. The early ones are just a pain in the butt. Nothing nice about them. Once I get this on, then we gotta do the pigtail. Where's my door panel, I think? Well, in 2 days for the sensor, which is nice. I'm gonna snug it up. I don't want to break it. I don't think I've ever broke one. Broke a lot of things, but I don't think I've ever. No, I don't think so. Never ever broke an ICP. That's one thing I can say I've never done. Broke a lot of other stuff though. Okay, that's complete. Now I'm going to have to. Let me get the pigtail kit and we'll pair the wiring real quick. Okay, try this again. So I'm gonna slice this open. Should move the camera. You can actually kind of see. It's hard to get it good. Okay, that will work. So, sliced it open. It feels like it has that metal tape underneath it, which is all good, you know. I try not to destroy it. It looks, someone's been in here before, so I want to try to save it. I want to try not to disturb too much. Look at the wiring right there. This is just a really bad design. This is such a common problem on these ones. On the early 6 liters. Okay, well I shouldn't be so. I was gonna say a word. Perfect. Just put my car. Can you put it in my toolbox and then give the receipt to Dave? And then go take those to Chaz. Tell him please don't use both. Okay. I know, I'm trying not to slice. I guess I can slice it down there. I don't want to destroy the sheathing. I got a little tape out so it'll drop it in the turbo. And what's pretty funny is, I was wondering why I didn't have a bolt on the back because someone cut it off. I don't know, maybe no one's ever changed this before. It's interesting. Yeah, maybe not. Wow. It's pretty cool. And the wires are all melted together. That's nice. It's okay, I'm probably gonna change them from back here. Right there. Right? What the hell's going on there? Is that a heat shrink? Yeah, that's heat shrink. So, cool. I don't like having two joints. So I always like to repair before this so there's only one singular connection. So that I don't have to worry about a potential failed connection upstream on the connection. Okie dokie. And then I got really nice Ford connector here with little baggie of goodies. This one, that's weird. Huh. Oh, it's right there. I don't like putting them all in the same spot, but this is thick enough to where it's not going to matter. To match them up, we're going to do the bottom one, but I don't want it 30 feet long, so we're just going to make it the same length. It's actually perfect right there, so we'll go with that. Let's double check. That's our wire we're going to be connecting. I want to drop that in the engine. The Ford ones are really nice, the connectors. There's a ticket in the office. Can you get the information on it?
Yeah.
So, let's go ahead and crimp it. These ones you can get nice and down on, crimping them. Now, one thing that I always forget to do, I'm sure some people do, if they're not lying, put the heat shrink on. Put it on first so you don't forget it. We're all human, you know? Because then if not, then I gotta depin it. I'm not gonna cut it, I'll just depin the connector, slide the heat shrink over, and then reconnect it. Put the pin back in. I like crimping the entire connector. Give a nice little rub and tug. That one's good. Okay. And then we're gonna go after probably this gray one. I know they're all gonna be in the same spot. It is what it is. It's not gonna hurt nobody. It's not like we're in a tight spot. Okay, that's this one right here. If we're in a tighter spot, I would try, or if I had like more wires, I would try to offset them a little bit, but for this I really don't care. As long as there's no real adverse effects, it doesn't bother me. But if it would like make it too thick to fit back there, then absolutely you'd have to do it that way. There's no doubt about that, eh? Okay, I always like to quadruple, triple check to make sure I'm doing this, wiring them the right way. There's a little pigtail. Okay, now let's strip these both. Get those nice and clean. Let's get our crimp. Okay, let's put the heat shrink. We can put the heat shrink on first. Heat shrink, and then we're gonna make sure the wires are nice and good. Put the crimp on. The ICP looked really old. It actually, I'm fairly certain it was a factory unit. It's just really old. I mean, we can tell somebody's been back here before because that pigtail was heat shrinked in, and it didn't do a bad job at all. Did actually a really good job. Try not to catch that on fire. Missed the plastic. Try not to melt the heat shrink too much. Get the glue to, once the glue comes out, and I can stop getting on it. I know I'm kind of burning the heat shrink a little bit. Okay, stop in there. Okie dokie. You just want to see the glue coming out of the side. See how sticky it is? So nice. This is my favorite heat shrink ever. Now the $1 million question is, I think I'm just gonna leave them naked inside there, and then I'll tape over it. Because what I noticed is if you tape them together, the heat like melts the wires together. And then, you know, once some oil gets on it, I mean, we're talking, this is a 6 liter, so it's gonna have oil on it. Once the oil gets on it, then it kind of just destroys it. The oil with the heat. So I'm electing to not tape it inside. And it's just fiberglass inside, so it's not gonna hurt nobody. Go back, cover that up. I'm using my Scotch tape, so it's goodish. But I've noticed that, like, especially on turbochargers, on the pigtails, if you tape the wires together, I usually just throw them in the loom, but if you tape them together, they melt together. You know, it's just another Ford thing, you know. Okay, there's our connector. Now, what we're gonna have to do, comes with this magical Ford juice that keeps the connection good. I actually like this stuff. Let's put a little bit in there. I don't use the whole thing on it. No need. Now I gotta feel the, I might actually line right up. Sorry, I'm gonna be bumping into you. And I think this customer, I should say, has some cheap, like, been throwing parts at it, so I think we gotta do this first. Get rid of this ICP code, clipped, and then we're going to move on to the other codes that we have on it. I'm pretty sure we're probably gonna have to put a turbocharger actuator on. I might have a used one because we place a lot of turbos here on these, and we get brand new Garretts, so they come with the actuators. So I'll try to see if we got a few bucks. Oh, a tight fit back there. But I'll try to save them some money and put one in and see if it helps. Because it has that cheap actuator with no name on it. Those actuators, I don't think I've maybe seen one go bad, maybe. I don't even think it was the actuator from what I remember. Because you just ohm them out and you can tell. And we're going to stuff this wire under here so it's not so close to the exhaust. Just sucks, there's not a lot of room back there. That doesn't even fit. Okay. How do you do? So, I'm gonna, finger got stuck. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the oil line off, the oil return tube out, reseal it real quick, pop it back in, we'll put the clamp on the up pipe, and get this little piggy back to the bank. Got that. Should be showing you this what I'm doing. So I just pop the O-rings off. Can't even see. It's got the O-rings off that camera, and we're gonna go ahead and pop the new ones on in our Ford kit. Okay, we're gonna put a little grease on them. Okay, okay. Let's go and pop this in. Okay. Make sure you get that all the way. Just give it a nice little wiggle jiggle, and then we're gonna put the clamp on. I like putting the clamp this way because then I can get it right there. It's really easy. It's easier to pop off too. So I'm gonna set the turbocharger in, and I have to move. Okay. Turbo might be a little bit easier to put in because someone cut that tab off the back of it, off the pedestal. No idea why somebody would do that, but absolutely would.
Give me a pry bar.
Give it a little tug. I'm gonna try to line. Don't want to pry on the cooler. Pry against the intake. Kind of hard though. The one in the back doesn't really want to sit. Okay, so now our problem is the tube. We pull the tube out a little bit, and then because they cut that piece out of the back of it. It won't line in all the way. I have to line only one side of the turbo. Okay, there's that. I can't believe somebody would do that. That's not very smart. Nice one to put it. Okay, so the turbocharger's essentially set in. I need to go do something. I'll be right back. So we're gonna continue. I'm gonna put the bolts in. Now let's put this one back right here. These are the 10s. These are brand new 10mm bolts that came in the hardware kit. We're gonna replace both of those. Our up pipe looks perfect, so that's good. Trying to get this complete. I hate that someone cut that pedestal. This truck is interesting, to say the least. And these I like to get them pretty tight. This one back here, you can use a 10 swivel. When they're really tight, that's what I have to use. So we got those. Now I'm gonna get the clamps and the up pipe and the down pipe on. So I'm gonna get my 11 millimeter. My favorite ratchet. Okay. Batteries. Be careful. There's that one. There's the tighten it. This one I like it that way. You point them up and get them like this. And the other good part is putting them that way. When you go to take it apart, you can take the pry bar, stick it right on it, bam, pop the back. You can go on the bottom, hit the bottom, and it pops out really easy. There was one guy who used to work here that didn't like that. Because that's the way I do them. He just didn't like it that way, you know. But he liked to point them to the back and have to use a gear wrench, and that's just a pain in the butt, in my opinion. You know, I mean, I don't know how many of those I've installed like that. in that angle. And this one I think it's where I put the T-bolt. I'm going to go find the original tray. Well, we can put the alternator on while I figure out my line. So let's go ahead. It's going to be 2 313s. I got to put the oil feed on too. I'll do that next. Save that there. Remind me for the T-bolt. And that belt, I just make sure it's on everything, especially the AC. And over here on the power steering and little idler. And I pull it and pop it on. Really, really simple. Okay, now let's do the oil line. So this thing's all nasty. We'll go ahead and pop this off. I'll set on the battery. I'm gonna just throw that stuff away when I'm done. Let's take this gasket off. Of course, it doesn't peel off in one piece, so I'm going to grab a scraper. And I gotta go find the T-bolt too, so I'll be right back. Okay. I have the new O-ring on, all greased up. So I dropped the T-bolt. Remember, the clamp was damaged. It must have fallen out, so I found it back there. We're going to go ahead and get this thing going. I'm going to reassemble it. I did get the oil line on. The camera died midway. I started to. So the oil line, the oil feed line's in all the way. That's clamping bad. It won't even pop in. That's the one thing that really sucks about working on these trucks. They're really, some of them are in just really rough shape from people working on them who are just hacks. You know, like trying to get one of those pedestals. You know, yeah, I could order one on, you know, let's say eBay or something like that. It would take a week to get, and you know, that's just, nobody's gonna want to wait for that. It sucks. I want it to be perfect when it's done, but nothing really I can do about it. It's not like we're doing a bunch of other work to it as well. That's gonna take it a week. I mean, this thing's been here for 2 days because they said it's the wrong ICP. It's been here for 2 days because of the wrong ICP, which, you know, is what it is. But we weren't really planning on it. You figured the dealer would have these components in stock, but nowadays, you know, they can't keep really much in stock. And our Ford dealer just kind of sucks, which makes things difficult. All of our dealers kind of suck. The only one that I like is our Volkswagen dealer. They're very good to us. They're truthful and honest, which I like. They say we're going to get it the next day in the morning. Sure enough, it's here next day in the morning. Can't say that about the other dealers. It sucks. Okay, so I'm going to have to loosen this clamp up. I put it the correct way. Those are by far one of the worst spots on these trucks because they always like to pop off right there. So you have to be very careful. They have to be absolutely perfect. If it's not, it will pop off. Then once it pops off, it destroys that boot. It'll tear the lip off of it. Then you have to replace the boot. I learned early on how to place these clamps on these trucks to make them happy. Because last thing you want is somebody taking it, hooking up to their trailer and going. We have a lot of hills around here. You gotta go through hills to get out of this valley. And the last thing I want to do is have one pop off up one of those hills with a trailer on the back. You might be able to make it back without one on there, but you know, you might destroy the turbocharger trying to spool it up like that. That's why I'm very, very particular. I know I said I'd do the map sensor. I'm just gonna get this side. Try and get as far as I can before I have to jump up and down, that tube in. Again, it's missing the bracket for this inlet. So that goes to the FICM. FICM got washers and Allen bolts. And, you know, it's just one of those trucks. Not really my favorite to work on. Nope, see, I almost screwed up right there. I don't know how many times to do this. Make sure you put the harness back down. And here's a free bolt, I guess. I didn't take that out. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna set that there. And then we have coolant reservoir, 2/8. Prices aren't different. Actually, the checked bolts, which is nice. We'll grab a pair of pliers and the intake. And then I am going to need some zip ties. So let me go get those items. And then we'll get the sucker rocking. The more I look at this truck, the worse it gets. They actually cut the airbox bracket. It's supposed to come up and be like a U shape. So let me give you a little tip. See the darkness in there? That's actually the media coming apart. So that's just going in the cylinders and you know, cleaning up the cylinders, you could say. Do not install an aftermarket intake on one of these trucks. Do not. They just cause so many issues. I mean, because we have air correlation codes. It's probably because he put this piece of junk mass airflow sensor, aftermarket mass airflow sensors. I don't think I've ever had one work. I've had to warrant him so many times. I think that bolt. It's crazy what those pushing in there. But yeah, do not put an aftermarket intake on these trucks. On any, shouldn't really put it on anything, unfortunately. They just cause more headaches than they work, truthfully. These trucks, they'll throw EGR codes, turbo learn codes, because these ones, the early ones have inferred exhaust back pressure sensors. So it doesn't use the exhaust back pressure sensor like that. It just infers it. And I've had them with the intakes, they'll throw P2287s when you can't learn the turbocharger because of the intake. You know? But nobody listens, so it's all good.
Injectors direct. They said to do the comprehensive cleaning and testing on those. They put it on the Bosch, actual Bosch machine. Okay. Test them at over 10,000 psi. 40 bucks a piece.
Clean and test all 8 of them.
Not 400, that'd be 10, but 2 less to be 320, right?
4 times 8 is 320. No.
Yeah, 4 times 10.
So it's 50 bucks. So
Oh.
5 times 8 is 400.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 50 bucks each injector. You can do a basic test, so they clean them, just run them on the little tester thing, you know?
Oh, that's cool.
And that's $30 a piece, but I'm like, oh, that doesn't big deal. They say they clean them too.